Coming up next on Behind the Badge, a run honoring first responders on the 20-year anniversary of September 11th. Character does matter. Find out how MPD and city schools are serving as a model for others across the country. Is your child in the right car seat? A free program to keep children safe. Those stories and a lot more. Behind the Badge starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Flowers. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Badge, an inside look at news and newsmakers of the Murfreesboro Police Department. It's been 20 years since the terrorist attacks on 9/11, and local first responders were honored during the inaugural 911 Heroes Run in Murfreesboro. It was a day of reflection. A day to remember.
Everybody felt terrible and obviously was upset that the September 11th happened.
A day to come together as one.
This is a community that stands together, a community that understands and values the sacrifices made by all due to 9/11 Heroes Run.
Prior to the Travis Manion Foundation 9/11 Heroes Run getting underway.
The impressive lineage, their resumes, their experience, their training, their education is exemplary and really only exceeded by the command and their leadership.
A short ceremony honoring local first responders. Ex-Marine Corps member and 10-year veteran Murfreesboro police officer Blake Troutman was guest speaker.
I've always had a sense of service, always a sense of community because I was born and raised here in Murfreesboro, and obviously I was in school when the September 11th attacks happened. It's also what projected me into service, not only in the military, in the Marine Corps, in Iraq and Afghanistan, but also to continue my service here.
2, 1.
More than 600 people laced up their running shoes and pounded the pavement for the inaugural 9/11 Heroes Run in Murfreesboro.
To have over 600 people show up and set a record for the Travis Manion Foundation for the biggest first-time race has been a really phenomenal feeling.
Just speaks volumes again for the community of Murfreesboro and the fact that they support the law enforcement, the first responder, the veteran and military community, and the families of the fallen.
Come on, man, you got this. Easy. It's downhill from here.
The race doesn't just honor those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001, but it's also for those who put themselves in harm's way every day.
We have first responders, law enforcement, individuals, service members who honestly pay the ultimate sacrifice every day when they wear that uniform. They never know if they're going to make it home.
For Officer Troutman, the day after 9/11 was just as important.
To be honest with you, one of the best days in America was September 12th. We came together as a nation, we came together as a community.
Race organizers are hoping the Murfreesboro 911 Heroes Run will eventually be the largest in the nation. The Murfreesboro Police Department School Resource Officer Program is leading the nation with teaching character education. And leaders with the Travis Manion Foundation's Character Does Matter program is using Murfreesboro as a model of how the program should work.
Murfreesboro PD is the standard for Character Does Matter in a school resource officer program.
Travis Manion Foundation leaders are traveling the country.
You guys are the first in the country who have taken it to the level that y'all have.
Meeting with police departments and school districts about ways to improve the Character Does Matter curriculum.
We're taking that the lessons learned here, wins, losses, struggles, success, so that we can make this program nationwide eventually. That's my goal as a former school resource officer myself.
And Murfreesboro is leading the way.
Murfreesboro has been the model so far. Murfreesboro was the first to take its school resource officer program and to train every SRO as a mentor, and then to implement it in every school and to work with the school district to make it a school sanctioned program.
TMF sees this as the next big thing in character education across the nation.
Take the lessons we've learned here in Murfreesboro and apply them in other police departments across North Carolina so that they can have success both in their schools but in their community policing efforts. just like we hope to continue to do here in Murfreesboro.
And those on the front line, like MPD School Resource Officer James Marler, says the program is working. From the students who approach him in the hallways of Irma Siegel Elementary to the teachers.
I definitely think it's working. I've had numerous teachers approach me with their students putting the motto of "if not me, then who" into their work at the end of papers, giving their own presentations on it, or riling up the class to go out and actually pick up trash, because if they're not going to do it, then who else is? And the teachers directly attribute it to our talks that we're having with these kids.
The program is dual purpose. The SROs are learning too.
It's not just about the impact that we get to have with the children. We also want to make sure that we're having an impact on the lives of our mentors, whether they're veterans or first responders or families of fallen heroes. We want to make sure that they feel empowered and that they get something out of being a mentor as well.
MPD and MCS leading the nation in character education.
I think that would be great. It's a big responsibility in order to be the model for everybody, and I hope that we're able to live up to the expectations.
MPD school resource officers began teaching the Character Does Matter program to MCS students during the 2019-2020 school year, the first department in the state to implement the program. MPD now has more officers certified in car seat safety installation to keep the community safe through its Buckle Up Boro campaign. City TV's Michael Lynn White has the story.
Over 70% of child safety seats are installed incorrectly, and the instructions on how to do it can be confusing. That's why Murfreesboro Police Department hosts an in-depth training and installation of child seats event to serve the community.
If you hear about one of these checkup events, all you have to do is show up. It's great if you can bring the child with you. That way we can make sure the harness fits the child correctly, make sure the child's riding in the correct seat. And older children, we can talk to them about the importance of staying buckled and why they need to ride in that seat.
Murfreesboro Police now have 12 child passenger safety technicians. Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue also have trained technicians, but say police officers can see child seat issues before there's a problem.
One of the firefighters in this class actually said that when they get on scene and they're cutting the people out of the car, it's too late. That our officers have an advantage because they're out in the public motoring around and they can see things and prevent it. So that's why we want to get in on the prevention intervention level.
Sergeant Amy Denton says there is more to installing a child safety seat than you might think, and that it's critical to make sure it's installed correctly. And if you can't make a drive-up event, you can always call and schedule an appointment.
Somebody can help you. We can come to you anywhere in the city, or you can come here, so we can help you make sure that your child is riding as safely as possible.
Sergeant Denton says Tennessee requires the minimum amount of protection, so if you need help or are unsure of anything with your child safety seat, just give them a call.
If you're still struggling, or even if you just want to make sure, let us know and we'll help you out.
September 19th through the 25th was recognized as National Child Passenger Safety Week. The MPD Special Operations Unit, or SOU, is constantly training for situations officers on the street may not be equipped to handle. But the SOU is called into action only as a last resort.
Entry to command, we're at the FAP.
At the Elk River Training Center in Pelham, Tennessee.
Command, I have control.
The Murfreesboro Police Department's Special Operations Unit is training for the worst-case scenario.
For example, we experience an active shooter situation or a hostage situation, or when someone has fortified and barricaded a door where we need to make entry into.
On this picture-perfect day,
practice makes perfect.
SOU members are brushing up on their entry skills using energetic breaching techniques when all other means of communications have failed.
They are a last resort. We have multiple levels of de-escalation that we will utilize prior to deploying an energetic breach on a door such as this.
3, 2, 1.
As SOU members enter the makeshift room, they know it was the safest way to get inside with minimal damage.
We have seen in recent history houses to be fortified a little bit more than just a normal lock and key with various items that can be purchased at any hardware store.
This training prepares SOU members for real-life scenarios.
In situations where we have barricaded persons or hostage situations, we do our very best to use our crisis negotiators to communicate with the individuals that we're trying to apprehend to get them to surrender. And we will employ that tactic for hours as long as we have a dialogue going on.
And keeping officers safe at the same time.
To keep our officers who would have to otherwise use a manual breaching technique, who would have to stand in front of the door to do it, it keeps them back and out of harm's way if there is gunfire happening.
All the officers on the SOU team are volunteers. Several area schools are holding virtual career days because of COVID-19. MPD officer Wesley Cantrell told students what it takes to become a police officer.
Hey Roy Waldron students, this is Officer Wesley Cantrell. I work for Murfreesboro Police Department here in Murfreesboro. I've been here about 2.5 years. I've been on patrol my whole time, and I work second shift, which is 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
11:32, I'll be 10-8, Zone 4.
I had to go to school for 4 years. I decided to get an aerospace degree at Middle Tennessee State University and a minor in counterterrorism from the same school, but that is not required. The only thing that's required here at Murfreesboro Police Department is that you're 21 years of age to attend the Law Enforcement Academy and that you have a high school diploma at least. But I urge everyone to go to college and to further their education because it's bettered me. What I love most about my job is being able to do things like this and be able to be in the community and have outreach to the community.
I would say my favorite part is doing things like this, not just because I'm here, just chatting with you guys.
I don't ever come here every day and think that, oh man, this job's hard or this job's bad, because each day I get to talk to people, I get to see students, I get to go to kids' schools, I get to be out in the public and help people that are in need, and that's what I love most about doing this, is that I'm so close to the community that I've grown up in. Are there any negatives to my job? I would say there's negatives to every job, but I do try to come here with a positive mindset each day. Obviously, sometimes the shifts are a little bit long, and I like to go home and see my wife, who's newly pregnant, so I want to be able to spend time with my new family, but at the same time, this is what I'm called to do, and I enjoy every bit of what I do. What you can expect starting out here is around $40,000 a year. So as you start your career out, expect to start somewhere around that range of the $40,000 a year. But obviously, as you put in your time here, you're going to continue to grow and make more money and get raises as the time comes.
I love being able to come out here and serve the community and help the people that are in need, and not just that, but just kind of bridge the gap between police and the community. We're just as much people as they are, and I want to treat them as such, and I want to be able to show them that there's cops out here that do care about them and care about their neighborhoods and the crime that's in their neighborhoods, as well as just them. I value what we do here, and I think we have a good group of police officers here to really make the difference.
Man, guys, I'm just gonna tell you, this is a great job. If this is something that you want to do, feel free to reach out to your teacher, Ms. Thompson. Feel free to try to get my number, come to the police department. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to get you involved. Yeah, man, this is just a great job. We love you guys. The community loves y'all. We hope that you continue to reach out to us if you need anything.
Now, from the MPD crime files, the unsolved murder of Terrell Ray. Governor Bill Lee has approved a $10,000 reward for information leading to Ray's killer.
Everybody felt like he was a lovable person. He was silly, he was just fun to be around.
Terrell Ray was the kind of person who never met a stranger.
To know him was to love him.
He was a son, a brother, and a single father.
He was a good father. Terrell worked hard.
The 30-year-old was living with his mother at the time.
We did that so that he could finish his education. He was going to MTSU. And so I would, take care of his daughter while he was working, because he worked nights.
Fast forward to August 1st, 2019. Terrell Ray was celebrating his 30th birthday with friends. Ray met his pastor in Nashville a short time later for dinner, where they talked about life in general.
I want to do something with my life, something that means something. Why not be a police officer, something like that.
Yeah, well, you be careful when you go out there, because you know it's not safe out here. You know, just kind of watch your back.
After dinner, Ray left to meet a co-worker.
Trying to have a good time tonight, just chill though.
2:52 a.m. August 2nd. Terrell Ray drove his 2016 gray Chevrolet Camaro to Murfreesboro to see his girlfriend, who had just gotten off work and was preparing to take a shower. Ray arrived at the Villager condominiums on Middle Tennessee Boulevard shortly after 3 a.m. He parked near the girlfriend's condo and walked to the door. Around the same time, Ray was confronted by one or more individuals who attempted to rob him. It appears Ray may have tried to run away, dropping items he had in his hand, including his cell phone. The gunman shot Ray multiple times in the back. The suspect or suspects then stole Ray's Camaro. 3:16 a.m. Police arrive and find Ray lying face down. He was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Police Department. Hey ma'am, I'm Officer Rose with Murfreesboro Police Department. I was wondering if you had anyone come see you tonight.
My boyfriend took... That's his stuff.
The stolen Camaro was found abandoned around 4:30 the same morning at an apartment unit on 43rd Avenue North in Nashville, with the help of the vehicle's OnStar system. The suspect or suspects are still on the run. Terrell Ray's family is asking why.
Why is the biggest question that I have. But having the faith that I do, I try not to question God's plan.
Ray had never been in trouble. His record was clean. Detectives say he was an innocent victim.
It's been hard for all of us. You know, it's a major loss for all of us.
His family is pleading for information to help solve this senseless murder.
I would ask them to come forward and admit what you done was wrong, because if you don't pay in this life, you're going to pay in the next. So I would rather serve the time here than to have to deal with the wrath of God.
The Murfreesboro Police Department needs the community's help daily working case files just like this one. If you have any information about the murder of Terrell Ray or any other unsolved case, please call the Murfreesboro Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division at 615-893-2717 or email us at crimetips@murfreesborotn.gov. Before we go, we want to give a few shout-outs. A special shout-out to MPD officers Justin Fugate, Casey Fittler, and Seth Hansen, who were honored as Stars Award recipients for saving a child's life. Mayor Shane McFarland recognized the officers at a recent City Council meeting. A shout-out to MPD Field Training Officer Quentin Peeler, Cops Officer Jonathan Gomez, Traffic Officer Terry Spence, and Communication Specialist April McClurkin, who were honored at the Wings of Freedom Fish Fry in Smyrna. A shout out to Sergeant Mark Wood and his K9 Boomer, Field Training Officer Quentin Peeler, Officers Ben Stamps and Daryl Sanders for taking time out of their busy schedule to give a tour to 11-year-old Layla and 7-year-old twins Finn and Stellan. We also want to give a shout out to K9 Officer Trey Mansfield and his partner Rowdy, and K9 Officer Cody Shanabarker and Bo, who visited Vacation Bible School students at Barfield Baptist Church. A shout out also goes to MPD school resource officers who participated in a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new 7-Eleven store on Joby Jackson Parkway. 7-Eleven donated $711 to the SROs for their summer camp program. Several MPD officers and other law enforcement agencies from Tennessee completed a 40-hour instructor development course at MPD. The course is required to qualify for certification by the Post Commission as a general or specialized law enforcement instructor. And a final shout out to the new MPD recruit officers who attended the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 9/11 ceremony. Remember, we're here to serve and protect you. If you have any questions on the services the Murfreesboro Police Department offers, please give us a call at 615-849-2MPD. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time as we go behind the badge.